Welcome to Trivia Dojo. I am Mike Oliver, your guide to all things trivial. Today we will be exploring the origin of 14 company names. Let's go! Number 1, IBM, or International Business Machine. Truly a giant, perhaps the giant in the field of computing. See HAL from 2001: A Space Odyssey if you don't believe me. Founder Tom Wilson Sr. named his business in an effort to one-up his former employer, National Cash Register. Truly, Wilson had the finest reason on this list for a company name: spite. Number 2, Pizza Hut. In 1958, Dan and Frank Carney purchased a very tiny location for their new pizza shop in the not very Italian city of Topeka, Kansas. The cash-strapped restaurateurs were lucky enough to receive a free sign from a Coca-Cola distributor. The downside, the sign had only room for 5 letters on the top line, 3 on the bottom. Pizza fit perfectly on the top. What could fit on the bottom? Pizza pod, pizza pit, pizza man. Dan's wife Beverly decided in a fateful observation that the dumpy location looked like a hut. The name stuck, and Mel Brooks received a nice joke for his movie Spaceballs. Pizza the Hut. Number 3, The Gap. In 1969, founder Donald Fisher opened his San Francisco-based fashion and, at the time, music store. Focusing on the growing youth and counterculture movements, Fisher appropriated the term the Generation Gap, shortening it to the much punchier The Gap. The company didn't succeed right away, but changed to discount prices, and a few dancing khaki ads later, The Gap did pretty well for itself. Number 4, Pepsi, or as it was originally known, Brad's drink, has been available since 1893 when Caleb Bradham created the sugary concoction to promote his drugstores. Wisely, in 1903, he decided to change the name. Perhaps less wisely, he chose to name it Pepsi-Cola after the digestive enzyme pepsin and the caffeinated cola nut. At the time, the drink was promoted as an energy-boosting medicine. Those claims turned out to be dubious, but luckily for Bradham, people really like heavily promoted sugar water. Number 5, Crate and Barrel. Like all things that will become monstrously successful, Crate and Barrel started out quite small. When Gordon and Carol Siegel were opening their first home goods store, they had purchased the location, they had purchased the inventory, they'd hired the employees, they had everything they needed except for shelves. When opening their first Chicago store, Crate and Barrel used the very shipping conveyances items arrived in order to display them: crates and barrels. Number 6, Apple. According to legend, the computing giant was months behind when it came to choosing a name. Founder Steve Jobs had suggested Apple Computers, referencing the possibly apocryphal story of Sir Isaac Newton, an apple tree, and the birth of physics. Though Jobs never really loved the name, he challenged his team to come up with a better one by the end of the day. They never did. Number 7, Kinko's, comes from a college nickname for founder Paul Orfalia, whose curly red hair was apparently quite a distinguishing feature. Number 8, Haagen-Dazs. The premium ice cream brand began in the not very exotic locale of Brooklyn, New York in 1961. Reuben and Rose Maness were having a difficult time competing with the low prices of mass-produced confectionery companies, so they decided to promote their company as a European delicacy using 2 foreign-sounding but completely made-up words. Some would call the tactic devious, others brilliant. I don't care what you call it, that ice cream is good. So many wonderful words and phrases. Company names, too, are often derived from Latin. Megas nomina, Amos. Number 9, ASICS, comes from the Latin phrase anime sana in corpore sanos, meaning a healthy soul in a healthy body. Number 10, Audi is the Latin translation of the word listen, which is itself the English translation of the German founder's name Hork, meaning hark. Go Babelfish. Number 11, Lego, coming from the Danish phrase leg godt, meaning play well. However, it also means I put together in Latin, so I think we can count this one. Number 12, Sony, comes from the Latin word for sound, Sonus. This made a lot more sense when the company was known less for the PlayStation, more for the Walkman. Kids, trust me on this. Number 13, Verizon, comes from the joining of the Latin phrase for truth, Veritas with the English word horizon. Truth horizon. I have no idea what that has to do with phones. Number 14, Volvo. Comes from the Latin phrase meaning I roll. It was originally intended for a ball bearing. That is not a joke. A ball bearing. Thanks for watching. As always, I am Mike Oliver. Click on our page for more videos and keep exploring my knowledge pioneers.